Welcome back to another Black Star video. Thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about LP farming, liquidity pool providing, and let's just get it. Welcome back to the video. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Rich, and today we're going to talk about liquidity pools on the Dex, farming, and alike. I'm going to try and explain it as simple as I can so that way you get a better idea of what's going on with LP, which is liquidity pools, and farming and such. So that way you get, you get a better idea and make a decision from there. And I'll give you my opinion of when I would provide liquidity to a pool, so that way you don't suffer so much of a loss. Let's get it. All right, so right now we're on MintSwap's main page. We're going to use MintSwap. We're going to use Wing Riders as an example, and I'm trying to get through this as fast as possible. So both dexes have a different, unique way of you providing liquidity and the benefits of it, okay? So looking at MintSwap, as soon as you get to the main page, you can add liquidity. You have ADA, and then choose whatever coin you want if you have the coin for it. All right, for argument's sake, I have half of a Wing Rider token. So if I wanted to, you can enter the amount or zap it in, give you the zap option, all right, mint token, whatever it is, and then you can enter the amount and then zap it in. But going back, so if I wanted to maximize that, then it tells me how much ADA I would need for half of a Wing Rider token, and then it'll go through the fees. So the batcher fee is what is off-chain activity when a batcher processes transaction for us. And you guys already in my last videos, I explained to you what I believe about this batcher fee, especially that in the case of MintSwap, they handle all the batching internally. There's no outside pools and or nodes running this unless they have their friends and their family doing as well. Who knows? I have no idea. That they haven't disclosed that I know of. I know they talked about it in some Twitter spaces, but that's about it. And although this sounds like or seems like an astronomical number, all right, you're not going to have 299,079 tokens given to you. Is the way the system calculates it. They'll come up with a better method in the near future. Just give them some time. Remember, this is all very new. So, however, you would then add liquidity. And if you add liquidity, right, transaction failed, obviously, because it's not within its margin. But once you did that, you would go over to farming. And if you want to farm, and this is what's unique about MintSwap, is that it has some very nice farming features. So these are the different options you can farm on MintSwap. And as you can see, it gives you a percentage on APYs or APR, annual percentage return, right? So you have the Mint token, World Mobile, Liquid, and so on. But if you noticed, right, all of these are giving you ADA as well as the other token. Then on some of them, you're getting triple rewards. You're getting like this ADA, Min, and ADA. You'll get AGIX, Min, and ADA. Then you have Hosky and so on, right? There's so many different options. Their farming protocol has grown, or the pool of farms that you can participate in has grown tremendously. So if you have, first you have to have LP liquidity pool you provided to. Then once you have provided to a liquidity pool, you can then farm by hitting stake. And if you have the coin, you hit 100% or 50%, whatever you want, and you'll get rewards that way. Wing Riders. So this is their website, wingriders.com. So we'll go over to that app. The difference between Wing Riders and MintSwap is that right away it brings you to the swap platform or the swap protocol. It doesn't give you as much detail as MintSwap does, but it's still nice and clean. We can go over to liquidity if you go to pools, and it's a basic layout, unlike MintSwap. But there's 31 pages, and there's tokens after tokens that they're allowing you to provide liquidity for. And at the top, it's telling you pool's total value, right? So right now it's 11.9 million. Volume in the last 24 hours is 159,000. Volume in the last 7 days is 1.5 million, right? And I can remove, add, or so forth. And then the next option is it gives you a list of tokens you can swap and then add liquidity for it. Now remember that when you're adding liquidity, no matter which pool it is or which platform you go to, that you have to have not the even amount, but the equal to amount of whatever you're going to have. So let's say right now IUSD is 3-to-1 ADA. So for every 1 IUSD, you would have to provide 3 ADA as collateral for the pool, 3-to-1. So right now, Charlie's 2 to 1. Let's just say Charlie 3 is 2 to 1. So for every 1 ADA, you need 2 Charlie 3 tokens. So if you want to provide 1,000 ADA, and you would also need to have 2,000 Charlie 3. On the opposite end, if you want to provide 1,000 USD tokens, you'd have to provide 3,000 ADA tokens. So again, you got to make sure that you have the amount of tokens that you need to provide liquidity for. So if you bought a certain amount of X tokens, you need that liquidity provided on the opposite end, plus and or minus whatever it is. So that way you can average it out equally. Then with Wing Riders, they have the gain. You would go over to farming. Then in farming, you can look up what platform you want to get involved with, what tokens you want to actually farm to, and what's going on here. And you can manage what's going on, and it gives you tons of information on what's being provided and so forth. So I haven't blurred any of this out. This is minor farming just to give you an example of what's going on. I'm earning Wing Rider tokens and Charlie 3 at the same time, and it goes by epochs the same way Cardano's functions. So for every epoch that we go through, we gain rewards on this protocol, and it's actually pretty decent. So instead of having my Charlie 3 doing nothing, right, I have it farming on Wing Riders, and that's the way it's going to work for now, and that's the way Charlie 3 is going to work. They were supposed to have some NFTs, their QTs be used as a staking platform. They've changed that over time. Let's see what happens in the near future. So at the same token, if you're providing liquidity and farming, you can also use that to vote for your favorite pool. And as you can see, my pool's nowhere near to be delegated to. We're way off. I'm working on it, trying to build my pool's portfolio. So let's see what happens. Hopefully one day we'll get up there to where we need to be at. If you're willing to provide liquidity and you're doing A to C3 farming and you want to vote for Blackstar, be nice. I would appreciate it. Then in portfolio, it does the same thing. If you was in the farming menu, it just gives you an idea where you at, your percentage owned, ADA value, right, C3 value, and deposited LP tokens. So unlike MintSwap, it doesn't give you ADA. They give you the Wing Rider token, and they give you the token that you're going to get, right? So MintSwap is actually pretty cool because you actually earn ADA in return for providing liquidity and farming to the protocol. So what's good about this is that you're benefiting a little bit more than any other platform that I know of right now, and any other blockchain that when you provide liquidity gives you the benefit of getting some type of reward at the same time. Right, so you're not just going to get the token that you're farming to, but you're also getting their token, and you're getting the new token that you're farming or providing liquidity for. MintSwap, because of ADA's staking protocol, can provide ADA, and the way that Wing Riders kind of manages the staking is that you have to vote for it. Your pool has to fall into that line. So this is cool. So for Charlie T3, right now, is this pool that's winning. Blackstar is there, but let's see what happens in the near future. And we don't know what's going to happen. Maybe I might win the next go round, the next 2 go rounds. Who knows? So both platforms are unique in the way they handle farming, staking, liquidity pool providing. And talking about liquidity pool providing, right? In liquidity pool providing, you have something that's called impermanent loss. So that means it's not a permanent loss. It's only a permanent loss if you pull your liquidity out of it. So what happens is that you provide both tokens. In this case, it's going to be ADA and Charlie 3, right? Equal amounts depending on the ratio of the value of that token versus the native asset, which is ADA, right? So in the case of Charlie 3, you need 2.5 to 1. So if you needed 2,500 Charlie 3, you're going to deposit, you needed 1,000 ADA, for argument's sake. But as Charlie 3 will gain in value, you'll be gaining more ADA plus the fees that are generated over the time of them doing the transactions to participate in the swaps of Charlie 3. So you'll gain LP tokens. You'll also gain the LP fee tokens, which is again ADA, and the opposite. But what happens in the opposite, if more people start to swap out Charlie 3 for ADA, you'll lose out an amount of ADA, but you'll gain Charlie 3. Why is that bad? It's bad because the native asset, which is always going to be most expensive, is going to be ADA, right? And you're losing that versus Charlie 3. So you have, if someone decides to dump, let's say developers start to dump Charlie 3, you'll lose tremendous amounts of value because the price of Charlie 3 is reflective to the amount of ADA that's in the pool. So the more Charlie 3 is in the pool, the less valuable Charlie 3 becomes. and so on. So in my humble opinion, is during these times when the markets are really down, especially for tokens like Charlie 3, World Mobile Token, AGIX, MELD, some of the major protocols that are coming out of Cardano, Liquid is kind of up there already. And IUSD is supposed to be a stable coin, but anyhow, is during these downtrends when people aren't so inclined to purchase and or dump, then that means over a period of time when the bull market starts to happen, people will start to buy and the protocols start to become more useful. Then your impermanent loss is gone. You'll gain more ADA and have less Charlie 3, but guess what? Your Charlie 3 will be more expensive because people will start buying more of it. Charlie 3's protocol will be in use, and let's say Charlie 3 goes to 50 cents, right? Being conservative. And you bought it when it was 15 cents. Now you have more ADA for providing liquidity, you have a higher value token, and you're farming at the same time. So you're not really losing at all. And let's say in the case of Wing Riders and or MintSwap, that the Mint token or Wing Riders token becomes more valuable. Now you have a lot more value that you've gained over the course of time. So this is actually very unique platforms that are being derived on Cardano that is not available anywhere else. And this is good. This is really good. And it's because of Cardano's staking mechanism. Because of Cardano's staking mechanism and the way it's designed, they can provide added benefits to you, the end user, by providing liquidity and giving you automatic tokens from ADA and the native token, which is great. So in my opinion, this is a win-win situation for most people who are providing liquidity. I think as this ecosystem grows, you're going to see more people coming towards this direction. It's going to be very interesting. So let's give it another year or two. Let's get these protocols out there. Providing liquidity is very dangerous, so be careful which projects you are involved in. All right, I'm very cautious myself, but in my humble opinion, these are the times you provide liquidity. You'll gain the most value, the bang for your buck, especially when these tokens become more valuable. They're like nothing right now in comparison to their potential, especially the ones that I named: World Mobile Token, Charlie 3, and MELD. I would still include Liquid and AGIX and Singularity Net. So let's see what happens in the near future and see how these protocols come to life. There's a lot of growth on Cardano, and we're just not even touching the tip of the iceberg. All right, so providing liquidity to these pools are very, very tricky. Again, I believe that during these times, the end of the bear market, going into the bullish trends are the best time to do that. You'll gain the most bang for your buck. The risk is yours, though, so be very careful. And permanent loss can really hurt you, especially if someone dumps their coins, or developer dumps their coins on the market, and you'll suffer a major loss. So be careful of the projects that you get involved in. Research, research, research. All right, so that's the end of this video. Thank you for watching to the end. If you like the content, please hit that like button. If you want to get notified, hit the bell and subscribe to the channel. Support your boy, Blackstar. We are the light in the darkness. Peace.